Hi everyone, welcome back to another stream. Hope you all had a good weekend. Hi Drac. So, plan for today, as you can probably tell, we're going to play some PSU for a change. So, I know we played a lot of PSO on the weekend streams lately, so I personally need at least a week break from it. So, I know it is rare drop week on PSO, but I'll probably play that through the week, honestly. I just wanted to take a bit of a break for the stream, so play some PSU today. I think we'll probably revisit PSU as well once the new character experience gets added as well. Unfortunately, that seems to have been delayed a bit. There is going to be an event on Clementine, which is going to last about 6 weeks, and they've said it's going to be after that, so which is a little bit frustrating. And I mentioned this on the Discord, I find it a bit strange that they're adding the new character experience, but then also delaying it behind an event catered at Endgame, which seems like the complete opposite of what you're going with the new player experience. So yeah, I feel like that's a bit of a mistake personally, but hi LGP. So yeah, plan for today with PSU is essentially just run some stuff. There's no real rhyme or reason to what I'm going to run, and just anything to get some experience and just get some levels. Unfortunately, this event that they're going to do, it seems to be almost entirely tied behind Ultimate, which doesn't really benefit me at all. That's how you grow server population, ignore new players. Apparently. Having said that, there are 174 people on Clementine at the minute, which is crazy. I think that's the most I've ever seen. So as LJP has just posted on Twitch, we do have a Discord, so anyone watching who maybe hasn't been here before, we do have a Discord, and we do play off stream as well for things like PSO, PSU, Monster Hunter, and various other things, so feel free to join us over there. 174 more than Concord, I mean, you're not wrong. I saw an article actually about Concord recently. It was based on some information which I don't know how reliable it is, but apparently there's a rumor that Concord cost actually $400 million to make. I think we originally thought it was about 100 or 200 million, but apparently it cost 400 million. And they made 1 million in sales, which they then had to refund to everyone. Just downloading the patch. Oh, no worries, Dirk. It didn't take very long for me. It seemed like quite a small one. To be fair, is anyone new playing Phantasy Star? I think realistically, if you're a new player playing Phantasy Star, you're probably going to jump to NGS because it's the newest game. I'm not saying it's because it's the best game, because it isn't, but realistically, if you're coming into the franchise as a new player, you're probably going to jump to the latest game. It just makes sense, you know, if you have no real knowledge of the previous games in particular, you're just going to jump in with whatever the new one is, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, missed. Yeah, so they, from what was in that video, I think about the same one you've seen. They spent 200 million, and that was basically in its alpha state, and it cost another 200 million to fix the problems with it and make it actually playable. Hi, Pickerwood. Yeah, so 400 million. It's just beyond belief, really. People getting tired of NGS might want to rewind to PSU. Yeah, I think you're always going to have some people who maybe play one of the later games like PSO2 or NGS, and then maybe want to see the early entries just to see what they were like. Hi, Chenton. Wasn't using an Unreal Engine. Surely it doesn't cost much to make a shooter in an engine designed for shooters. Well, the other thing it said is that apparently some of the dev team were basically saying that they were too big or too good to fail, and that this was going to be like one of the crowning achievements for PlayStation and was going to be their Star Wars moment. That's how big they were planning on Concord being. Yeah, no worries, Drac. Just while we're getting started here, if anyone does want to join on PSU, we're just on Clementine's server. And yeah, just feel free to join us on the 5th floor. I think it's called blowing smoke up someone's ass. I mean, you're not wrong. You start with PSO and you're new to the franchise. I mean, I'd say as someone from the outside, I think starting with PSO is probably a strange place to start. Is there any, out of curiosity, Tycoon, is there any reason that you started with PSO? Were you aware of the later games or anything, or was PSO just the one that you gravitated towards? Seems it has to be an update you haven't done. Oh, no worries, Chentan. Yeah, I can wait around for a bit while people get updated. To be fair, I updated it literally about 2 minutes ago. I suddenly realised, oh yeah, I should probably check and make sure there's no updates before I stream. You don't like when devs are too cocky when they're making a game. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they were hoping for, really, because even without all the allegations about it, it wasn't a very... I'm trying to think how to put this. It wasn't a particularly ambitious game, I don't think. It was just a generic hero shooter. You know, there wasn't really anything special about it, so I don't see why they expected it to do so well. It was a toxic positivity environment. Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, you basically couldn't point out any issues with the game because it's just like a risk of being fired. Which is a great way to set your game up, by the way. You know, ignore all the criticism. You used to see your friend play it before, always want to try it, but you did try PSO2 and gestures and didn't like it as much. Yeah, that's totally acceptable. Yeah, I just wondered how you got into PSO with PSO originally, if you've come into the franchise later. Because I don't know if you get what I mean, but it's not like the typical place you would start if you were coming into Phantasy Star now. But, you know, if you enjoy PSO, then you enjoy PSO. Yeah, I'm talking about Concord, yeah. It only took a few minutes before we got onto it. If it was free, the game could have had a chance. Yeah, I think that was the other thing, wasn't it? It was a hero shooter that they were charging like AAA game price for. But yeah, it's not going to work. I think even without everything else, it was just the fact that it was just a mediocre, middle-of-the-road hero shooter. So... yeah, I don't know why everyone was so surprised at Sony that it bombed. Yeah, 400 million to end world hunger or launch a generic shooter. Now very much like the actual Concord down in spectacular flames. Like androids and sci-fi, much different from online MMOs. Yeah, honestly, I mean, in regards to MMOs or even online RPGs in general, sci-fi is really not that popular. You tend to sort of gravitate towards more sort of high fantasy, usually. So I guess Phantasy Star is, I'm not going to say it's unique in that aspect, but it's certainly rarer. Yeah, sure, Peekwood, yeah, if you want to join in, feel free. I'm just waiting for a couple of people to join in, that's all. So yeah, by all means, join. The whole PS5 Pro thing is an interesting one because I guess who they're trying to aim it at is maybe, I guess, people who want the absolute best for their console. So I suppose one example of people who might go for it is one reason they might go for it is if you're, for example, a content creator and you want your games to look the best when you're streaming them, then obviously your games are going to look technically a little bit better on PS5 Pro than they're going to on a regular PS5. But for 99% of people, it's just not worth it. There is no absolute best when talking consoles. Yeah, I mean for more things like console exclusive games. So if you're wanting to stream something that's console exclusive that's only on PlayStation, then it's going to look best on the PS5 compared to on a PS5 Pro compared to a PS5. But even then, it's such a small amount of games and such a small player base that they're aiming it at, I think. There's no way they'll sell enough to compensate the new HoloLens console. But the thing is, from what I understand about it as well with the Pro, I know that the GPU is a lot bigger and a lot more powerful. But from what I understand, I think the CPU is more or less the same as the regular PS5. So surely isn't the CPU going to bottleneck it? It just seems really odd. No, I think it's the GPU they've made bigger. I could be wrong, but I think they made the GPU bigger. Yeah, it's like 70% more expensive, 35% more powerful. In your opinion, exclusive games are a horrible thing for the consumer. The only one that wins is corporate. I mean, I guess the idea behind them is to try and convince you to buy the console, but it often just doesn't work. For me, if I see an exclusive game, I'll tend to just wait until it releases on PC anyway. Yeah, I agree with Vector though. I think some people will just buy whatever the new thing is. You know, PS5 Pro is the new thing, so some people will just buy it. And obviously you're going to get scalpers buying it as well to rip everyone off. Console exclusive games can be emulated. They can. Oh, hi, Jack. Like the fact you can just play the Series X, you don't have to wondering if the graphics card will work or if a new bit will stop games from working. Yeah, there is that advantage of consoles, is that theoretically anything for the console should just work on it. For me, I'm of the position where generally I will just buy a PC though and just play anything on PC. It's a matter of time before they're released on PC or Steam. Yeah, I think that's 99% of games, unless the game is Bloodborne. I kind of feel that all the money that Sony lost on Concord, they could probably make back just by releasing Bloodborne on PC. Bloodborne is getting there emulation-wise. I've always kind of wanted to play Bloodborne. I never had a PS4 when it was out. Yeah, I never tried it. But it kind of appeals to me, even though I'm not a Souls fan. So just before we get started, is there anyone else that wants to join on PSU? Console stand games, maybe second controller. You're not leaving the store before blowing $1,000 on it. Sony should give everyone what they want. 4K remake of Team Buddies. Exactly. Oh, hi, Tenton. You want Bloodborne on PC, but until the exclusivity deal is done, it's not going to be possible. I wonder how long the exclusivity deal was for that. So, do we know in PSU, because, you know, we should probably play PSU at some point, do we know if there's any special quests on or anything, or are we just running the usual? I know there isn't an actual event in-game at the minute. Ghost of Tsushima sold a lot. They should just pop Bloodborne's PC. I really wish they would. I'd be horrible at it, but I would like to play it at some point. If you join PSU, you're only level 2. What you should do, Vector, is just get on and just try and get to about level, I want to say maybe about level 20 or so, because I think at 20 it probably opens up a bit more what you can do. Your PSU chat is writing backwards. I seem to remember that being a problem on the Sega server, but I can't remember how you fixed it. What happened with this update? Is mine doing the same, actually? Let's have a look. That's so weird. Japanese locale. I'm not sure. I mean, really, it shouldn't. I wouldn't have thought the locale would affect the direction of your typing. That's so weird. Well, I mean, we can start a quest. Yeah, don't worry if you can't type, Drock. So I'll check special event counter and see what's there. Genuinely can't remember what anything is. We could just start with the Wicked Invasion because we always do it. I'm conscious about doing S3. That's 175s. Although we do have 2 190s. Yeah, we could try it. S3, let's go. Alright, we can do S3 then. I'll leave it open as well, so if anyone else wants to join in, they can. Cease parum. Again, just a reminder that the music is not off at the minute. There is just no music on this part for some reason. So we're being told that we're not allowed to do parum. So our choice is New Days on MoTube. I guess because MoTube's new, we'll do this one. You love that you can get Rune Light on the Steam Deck. Honestly, Steam Deck seems super good. I would like to get one at some point, but for me at the minute, there's quite a lot of things I want, and it's kind of harder to justify spending that much money on something I don't want to use a little bit. Because for me, with my PC games, I just use my PC most of the time. So it makes a lot more sense to me to just stay with PC. But then if I go away somewhere, then I'd want a Steam Deck. Well, I think on as well, congrats Portgrins on getting the Zonday 30 disc on PSO as well. I'll have it on the Discord. This is way different from PSO. It is quite different. There is some aspects of it that are similar. Yeah, Tycoon, if you've never played PSU before, PSU is the first game that introduced Fortinarts. It's okay. I feel like my brain is breaking trying to read every time Drac types because everything's backwards. Maybe you're boom brain, but you dislike the visual pollution these games have. I do agree on that. I will also say that this is nothing in comparison to NGS. And PSO2. When you get a PSE burst in PSO2 or an NGS, you can't see anything. That's one thing I've never liked about it. I mean, I know there's a lot going on the screen at the minute, but this is nothing in comparison to NGS. Yeah, I do agree that It is a really good way of putting it, that visual pollution. Fortnite. Yes, Fortnite are basically, the best way to describe them is like skills for a weapon. So I have, like, for example, with this saber or katana, I guess it's a saber in this. You've got your normal attacks, which is more like your typical PSO, and you can time your attacks to make them do more damage. So it's a bit like PSO in that it rewards you for timing them. But you also have what are called Fortnite, which are like more flashy skills. But this was the first game that introduced them. And they have remained in the series until, well, NGS is still using them now. Race for the outcome, but you've uninstalled NGS, you felt majorly out of place with it. Yeah, I think I've said this before, but I think a lot of people who really enjoy PSO aren't necessarily fans of NGS. But conversely, there are also people who love PSO 2 and NGS who maybe can't gel with PSO because they are very different games. This Tycoon is, if you play anything like PSO 2 or NGS and play PSO, this is kind of like the halfway house between them. So although some things are very similar to PSO, there is a definite move towards some of the more modern things that are in NGS as well. So PSU was also the first game in the series to introduce first person. So if I use... Do I have a gun with me? Yes, I do. So if I use a handgun, I can go first person with it. It's very, very clunky, but this is the first game that did it. Which again has been used in pretty much every game since. It's a really interesting game, PSU, honestly, because when it released, it basically got a lot of negative criticism. A lot of the PSO players didn't like it because it wasn't PSO, I guess. And there was a few decisions they didn't agree with. And the press didn't really like it. It just didn't do that well. The expansion for it did improve a lot of things, but it's always kind of been like this, almost like a bit like the black sheep of the franchise, really. Well, black sheep of the franchise until NGS, I guess, because NGS has kind of taken over that now. But the interesting thing is now, when people look back on PSU now, there's a lot more sort of fun memories and reverence for it. I've seen a lot of comments on some of the official NGS posts on Twitter where they've mentioned PSU, and the comments are just full of people who want the game to be remastered and come back, which is really odd to me as a player who was there at the time when everyone hated it. I think for what it's worth, I've always liked PSU. I'm never going to enjoy it as much as PSO. PSO will always be my favorite in the series for, you know, for various reasons. But I've always liked this game. And I do think that quite a lot of the criticism I got at the time was unfair. I think the way I look at it with PSU is PSU experimented a lot and tried a lot of new things, some of which worked really well, some of which didn't work at all. And then later games like PSP 2 had then taken the things that worked and got rid of the things that didn't. Just means the next PS game has to suck harder than NGS. Again, I mean, I'm not just going to defend NGS for no reason. I do reasonably enjoy NGS. I have enough fun with NGS. It is a fine out of 10 game is the way I would put it. I have enough fun with it. The character creation in it is, I still maintain, is amazing. I have enough fun with the combat, but it's a game that I will log on, play for maybe half an hour to an hour, and then I'll log off and do something else. It doesn't have real lasting appeal to me. Like, there's no draw for me to want to log in for hours every day, like with PSO. But that is going to differ for everyone. There are going to be some people who really jive with NGS and like how it plays and everything. Thing is, I know it sounds sad, but it's the truth. I get major sensory overload when I turn it on. Being bombarded by so many things I know nothing about, a control scheme I can't get on with. The reason I don't like it is all on me, not really the game. That's totally valid, though. And to be fair, I do get what you mean as well. You know, you do get, when you start out the game in particular, there's a lot of pop-ups with different systems. You know, when you learn about how to grind a weapon and then how to add potentials and how to add affixes, there's a lot of different layers and it can get a bit overwhelming. I will say on that though, I do think base game PSO2 was worse for that because that was ridiculously complicated for some things. I guess people realised it could get much worse than what they were complaining about before. NGS is a good game, just not a good Phantasy Star. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that, honestly. I think as a game, it is fine. And as I've said, I think it is reasonably fun. I just... To me, it almost has no resemblance to previous Phantasy Stars. There are some similarities, I guess, with PSO2, but it feels so much of a departure to me that, yeah, it almost does feel like a different franchise. Had good times with PSU, but there wasn't enough to do for you to get on with paying the subscription as per student. Sucks that finishing the plot is lost made, you know. That really does suck, yeah. There is no way now of finishing the story for PSU. From what I understand, it was linked to like online only, and I don't think anyone has any sort of backups of the story quests, so I don't think it's doable. Which is kind of one of the issues with Clementine, honestly, because with Clementine, you are just kind of thrust into it and just left to figure things out and just run stuff. And there's not really any direction to what you should run. But I guess part of that isn't exactly Clementine's fault. It's the fault of, like you've said, some of the story being lost media. PSO2 affixes were nightmarish. You're not wrong. Do we have to wait for this nanoblast to wear off before we can actually go on the portal? That's so weird. Tint Warframe, when you turn it on, it's on. You don't have to choose. Close a bunch of stuff like scratch cards. Same with ESO, everything works, makes sense. NGS almost feels alien in comparison. Yeah, Warframe's an interesting one because I think for me, when I tried it as a brand new player, it totally threw me and I had no idea what I was doing. As you could probably tell if you watched that stream when I played it. The only issue with playing this game now on a Sunday is I play this more or less after I record the PSP2 video, and the amount of times that I try doing a dodge roll in PSU is worrying. I know, no dodge roll. It sucks, doesn't it? I've come to the conclusion that I think I like the yellow nanoblast the most. I love the damage on the red one, but I just tend to die every time I use it. hope the people have figured out backups of the PSO2 plot assets. Yeah, it's going to be interesting once the PSO2 servers do go down to see what happens with them. I know obviously there is a team working on private ones, but it'll be interesting to see if they actually have the ability to do the story. Although, to be honest, PSO2 story, I wouldn't be too sad if it was missing because PSO2 story is a mess. I'm sorry to anyone who likes base game PSO2, but the story is almost incomprehensible. I swear, this guy, once he loses the bottom half, he is the most anti-melee boss I've ever seen. Don't want to come across as a downer on it. It's something to look at, really is, but it's just mechanics and overlay vomit. It is. I genuinely feel that NGS is better than PSO2 in terms of overload. I feel that PSO2 was way too much going on for, particularly for newer players. The amount of stuff you have to get used to in that game is ridiculous. Whereas NGS does simplify that, but NGS also has the problem of potentially being too simple in places. Thanks for the Prime sub. Much appreciated. Thankfully, the explosion on that guy is a little bit quieter than the other robot. We did like the brief bit of PSO2, got to play before it became NGS, couldn't see how to go back to it, so now it's gone. So if you ever do want to play PSO2 base again, the way you get to it is, in NGS, if you go to one of the teleporters, so the Ryuka devices, there's an option there for teleport, and you can teleport to a PSO2 block. You thought you got a shiny. See, that is why we have the rare drop noise for the notifications. It's mainly to screw me over, which it continues to do. Mustard gun. Glad to see that Twitch hasn't reversed my text here. Good to know. Yeah, I'm not sure why PSU is doing that. I know it used to be a problem with the Sega server as well. There was a weird bug where his text would just get reversed, and I can't remember what caused it. You got an ad. Yeah, there will be ads on, it'll be on YouTube and on Twitch. Again, because I've only been Twitch affiliate for a few weeks, if the amount of ads that you get, if you're not subbed, if you get an obnoxious amount of ads, let me know, and I can adjust it. It's meant to be set at a schedule that's like a balanced schedule, so it shouldn't be too bad, hopefully, but if it's way too aggressive for ads, just let me know. That's not anyone watching. Because as helpful as the ads are to me, I also don't want it to hamper the viewing experience too much. Yeah, it does take some getting used to playing PSU again, especially after playing PSP2 earlier. Although the games are very similar, you do play them quite differently because of the, you have charge shots in PSP2, you have dodge rolls, you have blocking. Where essentially your evasion in PSU is move yourself out of the way of the attack. I've just realised that Draken was singing Evanescence backwards. Inverse Evanescence. Inverse Essence? There's something there. You started watching that many streamers, now you just got Twitch Turbo for no ads anywhere. I ended up doing that as well just because I used to use uBlock Origin, but it was becoming an absolute pain on Twitch. It was just constantly having to update it, and you'd get a couple of days and then ads would start either pausing the streams or it would just become a pain to watch, so I ended up just getting Turbo. I know that makes me part of the problem, but already subbed on YouTube, you just lazy to go on your PC, so you're on your phone. You're yet to get an ad on Twitch. I think if you're subbed on Twitch, I think it stops ads. On YouTube, it doesn't because reasons. uBlock Origin doesn't work in Twitch. It worked fine for me for a while, but now what it tends to do now is it will essentially pause the stream when an ad starts, and it'll just say blocking ads. So you don't get to see the ad, but you also don't get to see the stream, which to me doesn't really help. Don't sing Stairway to Heaven backwards though. Twitch Turbo is better to win-win. Twitch Turbo is really good. The only problem is they massively increased the price of it recently. Does anyone have any preference for what you want to run next, by the way? I'm literally just here to get some experience, so I'm totally cool with anything. Just try any new quests. Yeah, bear with me while I read Draken's messages. I do find it really funny that all your messages are backwards. So what you need to do now is you need to type backwards to reverse your message forwards. Maybe explore some places, fight bosses. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine to sort of run anything. We don't have to stick to the Guardians colony. We can go to any of the planets if you want to as well. House of the Rising Sun is now the Setting Sun. Send help. There isn't an event at the minute, Vector. So the event on Clementine starts in, I think it's next week it starts. It's I believe it's the anniversary event for Clementine. It's going to be 6 weeks, where it seems to be pretty much entirely focused on Ultimate, which is like level 190 plus. Does everyone get separate drops in this game? Yeah, so on Clementine you do, as far as I'm aware. On the official servers, you could set it so you could either have Give Finder, which is whoever picks the item up, or you could have it set to set random or set in order. So that would either randomly pick someone in the party to get the rare, or it would go through everyone in order. Yeah, LJP, I know you're very keen on episode 3. We will be playing that maybe next Sunday. So does anyone have a favourite planet? And we can just go to one of the planets and do some quests there. So you just grind a 190, that won't take long, right? It'll take a little while. It's not like PSO event experience, unfortunately. Zia Duen. By which I take that to mean New Days. Ep 3, kind of want to see that game. So I have streamed it a while back. It was quite a long time ago though. Now, which one do we want to go to? The good old Master Looter experience in WoW. On the subject of Blizzard, just quickly, the Wednesday stream, I'm going to be playing some Diablo 2 Resurrected. So I was a massive Diablo 2 player back in the day. So I'm going to try it Resurrected for the first time and see what I think of it. So that'll be on Wednesday's stream. Yeah, we can do New Days. I'm just trying to think what lobby to do. See what boss we can go for. Let's go to Mizuraki CD. Kigo clearing. Yeah, hammered in. So back when I played a Cursed Necromancer mainly. It is also on sale at the minute, yeah, so if anyone is interested in joining for next Wednesday stream, if you want to play, at the minute, Diablo 2 Resurrected is, I think it's 60 or 66% off. Can you not go there? We should be able to give you a lift, I think. So I think if you find that there should be an NPC near one of the fly bases, I think, or one of the exits, that should be able to give you a flight. I think you can use like a special flight. Yeah, so if you go to Otoku City, you should be able to use the shuttle near the fly base. Favorite top-down RPG was Dungeon Siege. Put a lot of time into that. Then Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 on the OG Xbox. Oh, cool. But yeah, I played an absolute ton of Diablo 2 back in the day. I think I got into Hell difficulty, but never really got too far in it because it was really, really hard. I want to say I got to about level 70 something, I think. You've only got to the desert on D2. Okay. I mean, I'll be starting from scratch on the stream, so yeah, like literally from Act 1 normal. So I'm quite curious to see how close it is to the original. Oh, I got to the desert as well. Is that Luke Gulane? I think it's called. Act 2, I think it is. Yeah, so if you got the city pick a wood, tell you what, I can come back. I'll show you what to do. That's your furthest experience. So I'll be back with you guys in a minute. I'm just going to show Pickerwood how to get to Kigo. So Pickerwood, if you come over to the fly base, so I think if you talk to this NPC, if you go to, I think it's special flight. And it should come up with Kigo clearing. How do you know where to go in PSU? I'm always lost. It takes some getting used to. How active is PSOBB nowadays? Possible to get into and meet people just in game lobby, or do you have to get into Discords to get groups? So it depends on what server you go on. So the most popular server at the minute is probably Affinia. Typically, Affinia has, I would say, between 150 to 250 people at most times. There has just been an event on recently where it got up to over 500. On weekends, you might get maybe a bit over 300 to, I would say, 400 maximum maybe. But it's very easy to get parties. It's still very, very active. You can also do things like join the Affinity Discord. I myself have a Discord as well, where people play on there as well. Hi, Shiro. Most people are super cool as well. You're always going to have some people in the community that are not, but I think for the most part with the theme, most people are pretty chill. So which one do you want to do? Do you want to do... I think... Is it on Magog this way? Yeah, I think it's on Magog that way. And is it Zolgug the other way? I'm trying to remember things from like a 20-year-old game. The stream just started. It started about... What, about 45 minutes ago? You're not touching probably till Halloween. The event burnt you out. I think the event burnt a lot of people out on PSO, yeah. Oh, you're going to go into it? Oh, cool. Yeah, it should be pretty easy to get parties, honestly. So most people seem to have gathered here, so I guess we'll do all this way. Speaking of PSO, baby, Affinity now has the right joystick camera controls. Yeah, it does. I personally don't use them because I'm stubborn and I'm used to how PSO used to play, so it feels weird to me using the analog stick. But there's no doubt it probably does add to the gameplay. So we've got two quests here. So we've got Moonlight Beast, which I think is Zolgug. I'm pretty sure that's Zolgug. Yeah. Oh, we've got Ecosystem Crisis, which I have no idea what it is because the description is entirely in Japanese. Time to try and decipher Drax's message again. Highest level on EP. Okay. Or is that highest level 1? Yeah, highest level 1. And then a tongue out face. I think that is. Trying to read this backwards is so hard. So what is the highest? So that we can only do 130s on that, which is a bit lame, honestly. We can do 155 for Moonlight Beast, so I guess we'll do that one. Game acting weird. It is acting weird. Back in my day, we didn't have analog camera controls. This bug is harder to read than PSU law text. Oh, you're restarting a chat. Okay, that's fine. We'll wait for you. Is SGS in Clementine? I'm not sure, actually. I know that SGS is in PSP2, but you can't unseal it. Which does beg the question of why they bothered adding it, but yeah, you can't unseal it for some reason. There is other swords you can unseal, but for some reason you can't unseal SGS in PSP2. Gonna have to restart your PC, do the mission, the controller is going crazy. You sure, Chentan? I don't mind waiting if it's going to be a couple minutes, but if you want us to go ahead, that's fine. Yeah, Shiro, I think the analog stick controls, it's going to differ for different people. For some people, it's going to massively improve the game. For me, just because I've played the game for like 20 years without the analog stick camera controls, it feels weird to me using it. There's sealed Nodachi, Nodachi U, and U+, which I assume is unsealed. Okay. Yeah, Pika, so the sealed sword in PSP2 is sealed Nodachi, which is just the name that they've given sealed J-sword. So that is sealed J-sword. Which I do have in PSP2. I've got several of them, actually, because for some reason they're not that rare. If only they were that easy to get in PSO. But yeah, it is weird that you can't unseal it. It kind of feels like, why did you bother adding it to the game if you can't unseal it? Especially when there are other weapons that are unsealable. I do play PSU as well, Avity, yeah. Not as often, but yeah, I do play it as well. I play most Phantasy Star Online games, to be honest, so... Hope you're doing alright as well. I can't read your message, it's not backwards. Understandable. If I were to play a game back in that day, you were just a toddler when it came out. Oh god, I feel old. Would also be like that and wouldn't turn it on. Yeah, it just feels weird to me. Not like it feels weird having the camera controls in PSO. As weird as it sounds, because you know, camera controls should be really easy to get used to, and it probably is easy to get used to in PSO. But just because I didn't have it at the time, I'm so used to just pressing the left bumper to flip the camera around. PSU, it's fine because that had camera controls anyway. Doing great. How about yourself? Yeah, pretty good, thanks. Yeah. So I said at the beginning of the stream, there's going to be a stream on Wednesday where we're going to play some Diablo 2 Resurrected. Try that out. And then there will be a video on Monday, which will be the PSP2 video for members, and then for everyone else on Wednesday. Next Sunday's video will be another lore video. And then the next Sunday stream will probably be PSO episode 3. You have no idea how to make use of analog in PSO BB. Got to try it sometime. If you're not sure how to turn it on, I think it's in the launch settings. But yeah, for me, I'm just so used to just adjusting the camera like that. Yeah, it's just in the launch settings. Yeah, so we'll just wait a couple minutes for the Chentan to get back, and then we'll do this next quest. Currently learning the mag system on PSO as well. It takes some getting used to. It's not the most simple thing in the world. I don't know if you've seen it, Shiro, but I do have a mag guide on my channel as well. It gives you a basic overview of how the mags work. Simikiri Nadachi U+, owned by Orochi Agito, the blade was forged with an incredible power that is no longer sealed. Yes, that sounds like the TGS from PSO. So I guess it is in this. I don't think it was in PSU on Sega servers. I don't even think the sealed version was in. But obviously Clementine has added a lot of things from PSP2 and so on. You also put a mag feed notification to help too. That does help a lot. Tutorial is still relevant, right? It should be. Yeah, the mag system in PSO hasn't really changed. Just working your way up to Ultimate Sky, slowly but surely, yeah. I know there's the event starting next week, but it seems to be almost entirely focused on Ultimate, so I thought I'll try and get a couple of levels at least. I'm probably not going to hit 190 before the event, or maybe even during it, honestly, but it gives me an excuse to play some PSU. Not played it in a little while, so I do have fun with the game, so I thought, yeah, we'll stream it, why not? super high level. It has slowed down a lot for me now. I think obviously because Clem Camp is no longer a thing as well. That doesn't help. Noah Drowse J. Delace. Seal J. Sword went. Let's Chen come back. Yeah, for anyone who didn't catch the start, for some reason there's a bug with Draken's client and everything he types comes out backwards. It's rare drop week on PSO. It is, yeah, I'll be playing it during the week. So if you do want to play off stream, feel free to join the Discord. I do play PSO off stream as well. You just spam Wicked Invasion for leveling up. I think that probably is the best way, honestly. Yeah, Wicked Invasion kind of feels like the TTF of Clementine. Oh, is Clem Clamp still in? I know they're on about getting rid of it, aren't they? But I don't know if they're getting rid of it when the new player experience thing starts. Oh, it's still in the game until MPE hits, okay. Again, I don't know why they felt the need to delay MPE. I would imagine there's some people who do want to try PSU who might be put off by the fact that the game server at the minute is very sort of end game focused. So I think they really do need to do a bit more for new players to try and pull people in. Friends and I have just been doing a planetary run, fighting all bosses and doing each mission at least once. I think that's a really cool way of playing, honestly. Still many things in testing. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, I saw Avity, yeah, there's like the new player experience thing they're doing, isn't there? Which I think is a really good idea. Oh, he's back. Put off. Why do it after the event? Now I'm more put off. That's the other thing as well, yeah. I mean, realistically, they could have done the new player experience and then had the event. I mean, I guess the event is tied to the anniversary, so that kind of is a bit of an issue. I swear, reading Draken's messages backwards is just going to break my brain by the end of the stream. Yeah, it's odd that they've delayed it until after the event, because it would have been good if they'd have done the new player experience and then the event, because then the event could have helped people to level. And, you know, don't cater the event entirely towards Ultimate. Unsafe Passage already carries you from level 1 to level 4, almost 5 on testing server. Yeah, because it's live on the testing server, isn't it? I haven't tried it yet because I want to do a video and stream about it, but I want to wait for it to go live on the actual live server. Sky, did you hear about the base PSO2 private server in the works? I did. Yeah, I think it's a really cool idea. Obviously, I've said this before on stream, but I get why they're waiting until the official Sega servers go down, because it seems a terrible idea to try doing it while the servers are up. But I think it's good that there is obviously already a want to keep PSO2 alive once the servers do go down, whenever that is. I have said this before as well, but I don't know if I would play it personally. I may dabble in it, but for me, myself, I was never a massive fan of PSO2. I don't mind the game, but I don't love it. I really need to change this range mag at some point because it looks atrocious. It is not fashion. Yeah, it does block basically the entire screen. It's fine. We got PSO2 from home, PSOBB. Kind of feel like a mobile game referring to PSO2. I think obviously PSO2 was like pretty much the first game where they started experimenting with things like microtransactions. Now, I know that PSP2 did have like paid DLC, I believe. Or I know it at least had free DLC. I can't remember if I'd paid DLC. It's been a while. But PSO2 was obviously the first one where they actually rolled out things like the Ashcast Scratch and, you know, microtransactions. I've said this before as well, but I don't necessarily blame Sega for doing that because it was just kind of the direction that the industry was moving in. You know, I realize that there are still, you know, some online RPGs that use like a monthly subscription model. But the reality is that a lot of games now have gravitated towards the free-to-play but microtransactions models. Yeah, for me, I did enjoy my time with PSO2 enough. But honestly, I felt that after a while, I was basically playing PSO2 because one of my like longtime friends was playing it, and there wasn't really anything else at the time that was appealing to me. So I basically played it to play with him, rather than playing it because I wanted to play the game. If Concord was free to play, would it help or not really? I don't think anything could have helped Concord. And that's just not an easy jab at it. I think that honestly, even if Concord was free to play, I think it was such a generic game. It might have had some more players by virtue of it being free. But I genuinely don't think that anyone would have really stuck around with it for any great deal of time because it was so generic. Hoping that PSO2 private servers can make the game less mobile game than anyone felt. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with it, see what changes they make. To further explain what I was referring to was all the flashing on screen stuff. PSO2 did like a red box drop and it's like, oh my god, you got a red box, and then you kill an event boss. Yeah, I mean, they need a ton of them, and it felt worthless getting a red box because they came out with rainbow boxes. Yeah, it's interesting with the red box thing. So I'm trying what the first game was to do it. I have a feeling it was, I want to say it was PSP2. It was the first game to have 13-star plus drops that were rainbow boxes, I think. Now, in PSP2, it didn't bother me because the 13-star stuff was generally fairly rare anyway. But I do understand that in things like PSO2 and in NGS, stuff drops so often that it's treated as quote-unquote rare, that when you see rare drop pop up, it just means nothing. You know, realistically, rare drop on NGS could mean anything like a capsule of a certain rarity or anything. It doesn't necessarily mean you've got like a cool rare item. which does take away from it a bit, I think. Escape doll, exactly. I mean, to be fair though, that's the same in PSP 2. So in PSP 2, escape dolls are treated as red box rares, because that's all you ever get at the start of the game. Sometimes I dream to remake PSU if Sega don't make it. Oh, this skill is not existent. Yeah, I would say that if Sega don't remake PSO, I think the chance of them remaking PSU is pretty much zero. I would like to see it, but yeah, I don't ever see this game getting remade, honestly. Rare drop and NGS is practically anything you aren't going to flag as junk. Yeah, pretty much. And to be honest, even a lot of rare drops you flag as junk. You know, if I do one of the, again, quote-unquote endgame bosses, so something like Darkfall Stallion, I can guarantee that half of the items I get will be completely useless. So, you know, you'll do Darkfall Stallion, level 90 boss, and you'll get things like 4 and 5 star weapons that you are never going to use for anything. But they'll still be flagged as rare drops. If they're, I think it's anything that's, is it anything 7, I think 7 star or higher is treated as rare, I think. Could be wrong on that. Yeah, but even like, you know, 7, 8 and 9 stars, really, you're just not going to class as rares. You're not going to class them as anything that you want to keep. Even a lot of the 10 stars now are just not worth using. And it just means that when you do a boss like that, 90% of the stuff you get from it, you'll just trash because you just don't use it. They should remake PS0 and add more things to it. Honestly, it'd be interesting to see like a modern remake of PS0, because obviously there are some limiting factors with PS0. So, you know, obviously because it was on the DS, there were certain issues with that made it a bit awkward in places. You know, the control schemes, for example, were a little bit clunky and a little bit unwieldy. And I think releasing that on like a new console or on PC could remedy some of that. Just on PS0, I am going to play some more of that at some point. It's going to be, I want to say, at some point in the next, like maybe the next month or two. Don't hold me to that, but I would like to do some more Zero content. It's just having the time to work it around everything else. PS0 HD remaster, perfect Switch game. Honestly, it would be. Daily PS0 reminder set. PS0 is cool too, I like the game's visual style. It looks really cool. Yeah, I really like it. Very different to the games, I think. But I respect the kind of style that we're going for. I think, honestly, this might sound a bit weird, but that might be one of my issues with PSO2 and NGS as well, is that I kind of feel like the game almost doesn't have a style, because you have so much freedom in the character creation, you can make essentially whatever you want to. And you've got options for cell shading or not cell shading. It kind of makes it hard to keep like a coherent style in the game when you're running around the lobbies. Obviously, if you're doing like solo stuff, it feels a bit more coherent. But I don't think that's just a problem of NGS, though. I think it's a problem of basically anything that has collabs, anything that has that amount of freedom with creation, I guess. On the other hand, though, I am also for the character creation because it allows you to also make what you want. So it is I can sort of see the advantages and disadvantages of it. Being on the lookout for a PS0-like game, I think it would work well for the Steam Deck. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know, Richard, but I know PSO BB at least does work on the same deck. You might already know that, but I can barely see the boss because of this range mag. That poor guy. If I compare the game to Minicorp's FF14, that game managed to somehow be able to retrofit Minicorps into a stylized, lore-friendly look. Yeah, it's interesting how 14 did it. You got the Yakuza Goro Majima skin in base PSO2, now you just look awkward in NGS. Yeah, that's one of the downsides with NGS, is that a lot of the base PSO2 stuff looks quite low res and doesn't look brilliant in NGS. Now, I know that they do revive some of the stuff with NGS specs, but realistically for collab stuff, they're probably not going to. Although having said that, for Goro Majima, I guess with this new Yakuza game where you're a pirate, I would imagine that NGS will probably end up getting a collab with that, because it's had Yakuza collabs in the past. So if you want to be Goro Majima, maybe you could be Pirate Goro. PSO BB is amazing on Steam Deck with the custom control inputs you can make. Yeah, I mean, I know a few people that we play with do play it on Steam Deck and no one really has any issues with it, so it seems to work well enough. Yeah, I would agree, Richard, that PS0 is probably better as like a handheld game for, you know, I guess compared to PSO, it probably does work better as a handheld because it was designed for it. You have 5 minutes on a break to do a run and beat up the octopus. Oh, I hated that boss. In that video that I did where it was my first impressions of the game, that octopus boss drove me up the wall. I think Nightbot there, I think it's give a warning there, Richard, just because it's overly sensitive with links. I've tried to configure this bot and it will not work as I want it to. It basically thinks you've done a link because you've put a.run. So yeah, don't worry about the warning. I can undo it if it does it again. I have no idea either, LJP. It shouldn't class a link as anything that has a dot in it. Hey Sky, recently started PSU, level 85. Some info is hard to come by. Is there a nano blast for Beast Race that is considered best, or is it pure preference? Went with a red one for raw damage. So, the nano blast. So, the red one is, I think, quite often considered to be the best if you can not get hit. Because the downside with the red one, as you might have noticed, is you lose a lot of defense, so you take way more damage. But you do get a huge damage boost as well. You also get a very slight movement speed increase as well. I really like the yellow one, which is the evasion one and speed, just because it lets me get around a bit quicker. I still do decent damage with it, but the damage is a lot less than the red blast badge. Try saying that 5 times fast. Should I put Nightbot in timeout? We'll see how it goes. If it does it again, yeah, we can time the bot out. Yeah, no worries, Richard. You didn't do anything wrong. It's the way that Nightbot is for some reason. It's just if you put a full stop in between two other characters and there's no space between them, for some reason it thinks it's a link. And obviously, I don't allow links in chat because anyone could post anything. But not that I don't think anyone here would, but gonna head off the party. Food is close. Ah, no worries, Clementine. Thanks for dropping by. So I think, yeah, this is Actor Relics, isn't it? But yeah, Atronix, I think generally most people consider the red one to be the best, but for me, I personally don't really like the red one that much, honestly, just because it's probably because I'm not very good at PSU, but I do tend to get hit a lot, so I end up getting killed with it. We've had the issue where someone had the link issue and there was a point where you could see it. With these messages, I can't see an issue. I think what it is, LJP, so there was a message where he wrote, it's a message at 7:43 where it was like got 5 minutes on a break to do a run and beat up the octopus, and I think it's picked up the A full stop run as a link. That's what I'm assuming it's done it for. I think if I start today, I could get to Ultimate and PSU. Ultimate and PSU, from what I've seen, seems to be about level 190. So it's a massive grind. So you can get there, but I don't know how long it would take to get there. For context, I have no characters in Ultimate. Wish the Clementine wiki was slightly more fleshed out. Sure, it will improve as they work on the server. Yeah, I think they'll get there with it. Oh, you can't see that comment. Yeah, I can. It's a little bit further up. It's probably just the bot being weird. Yeah, Tycoon, I honestly, I don't really know a great deal about Ultimate because I don't have a character that's there. From what Drax told me, I think it's generally about level 190. I guess because the idea in PSU is that you've got up to S4 difficulty before you even get to Ultimate. And you can see for this quest, for example, S4 is level 190 monsters. And you need to be 160 to do it. And Ultimate is above this. So it takes a while. So let's do, yeah, we're going to Holy Ground, why not? We're here anyway. Also, I love the music in this place. It's one thing I will maintain about PSU. PSU has an absolute banging soundtrack. It's so good. You quit and you haven't even started. You can still get loads of gear before Ultimate, though. Don't feel that all the gear is tied to Ultimate because it isn't. You'll get like pretty decent gear, and then in Ultimate there is Ultimate gear that's like next step up. Alright, yeah, I need to be careful here because these are the guys that do the projectiles that put you to sleep. Audio's a little quiet for PSU. Is it just the game audio that's a bit quiet? Because I can turn it up if you want. I must admit, it does look a little quiet on OBS, actually. So I can knock it up if you want. Just the game audio, fair enough, yeah. I'll knock it up in a second. Which is really odd because it's the same as all the other PSU streams. But my OBS is doing some weird things lately, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, just 2 seconds, I'll sort it out. Is that any better, or is that still a bit quiet? It's not helped by the fact this music is quite quiet as well. Just let me know if I need to adjust it anymore. It's a little quieter than normal, but you can hear you now. Yeah, I don't get that because I have not adjusted the PSU sound at all. What I'll do is I'll knock it up slightly more. There, I've adjusted it a little bit more. Maybe this update. This update must be cursed. I will check what the actual music volume's on here as well. So music volume there is on 6. So right, I've knocked that up a bit there. So yeah, just let me know how that is. The music is very quiet at the minute though. It's just this track has really quiet parts in it. Crank it to the max. That's about normal now. Okay. Yeah, I've got no idea why it was quiet. Thanks for letting me know about that. It's weird. So basically I have like different audio settings for every single game that I play because every game is a different volume by default. So it's much easier to have like separate audio sliders for each one. And I have not touched the PSU audio slider since last time we played it. Like I say, my OBS has been doing weird things lately. Such as slightly offsetting the screen. So one of the PSP2 videos had a slightly offset screen for half the video until I noticed. Again, no idea why I did that. But it should be all sorted now. But honestly, it's nice to get back to PSU. It's I know it's a game we don't play that often. But I just thought because we've played PSO so much recently, it was just nice to have a bit of a break. And as I've said before, Sunday will typically always be our Phantasy Star stream, so I still wanted to keep it as a Phantasy Star game. I don't know how I feel at the moment about the midweek streams because obviously I know some people are quite happy to see other games as well. Now, at the minute, I'm not going to lie, the midweek streams have been doing way worse. Which I kind of expected, because the channel is obviously focused around Phantasy Star. But yeah, I'm hoping that once I start doing some Monster Hunter videos, it'll pick up a little bit. Need to refill my SGS Copium tank till Halloween. I might hunt it a little bit this week while Rare Drop Week's on, but to be honest, if I can't get a 1 in 6,000 rate, I'm not going to get it a 1 in 10,000 or whatever it is. Enjoy the midweek streams. Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, some people do enjoy them. I think it's probably a combination of things. It's, you know, some people are going to be here just for Phantasy Star, which is totally fine. And I appreciate that. I think also with it being midweek European time as well, it probably just maybe isn't a good time for some people as well. Which, unfortunately, I can't do a whole lot about. Takes time to get variety public. Yeah, definitely. I'll wait for the PSO screenshot in Discord. You might be waiting a while. I appreciate the vote of confidence, though. You can't view it as just Phantasy Star, non-Phantasy Star, though. You're also streaming on a school day, so of course it'll have less views. Maybe swap the streams around one week and see the change. Yeah, I mean, that's an option we could do. I mean, you know, it's obvious that a weekend stream is pretty much always going to do better than a weekday stream. But obviously, for the reasons you've said. I don't want that to come across like I'm whining as well, because I totally appreciate that not everyone is going to want to watch things that aren't Phantasy Star, and also, you know, it is going to take a while to build people up who want to see the other games as well. Yeah, I noticed that as well, LJP. I'm not really sure what's going on with YouTube. YouTube's been acting really strange for me with the streams recently. Tiny violin. Yeah, YouTube has been doing some really strange stuff with the streams the last few weeks, so as you probably know, I stream simultaneously to Twitch and YouTube. It keeps doing this weird thing with YouTube where I end the stream and YouTube says that the stream hasn't ended. I go to my channel and it's ended, but I go to my control panel and it still says I'm live. So I don't know why it's doing that. It's really weird. So then that's kind of affecting my average viewership to an extent, because it's saying I've got no viewers because I'm not live. I think it's a bit of a bug with Restream, maybe. But hopefully it'll work okay today. I hated saying that I didn't want to put black clouds on it. No, it's no black cloud. I mean, you know, I did notice that with the YouTube stream last week as well. I think the other thing as well is, obviously, it was... What did we play on Wednesday stream? It was Monster Hunter World, wasn't it? Realistically, I would imagine the audience for watching Monster Hunter World is probably fairly limited at the minute. I mean, there's going to be some hype for Wilds, obviously. But realistically, there's a lot of very, very established Monster Hunter creators that if you're going to watch Monster Hunter, you're probably going to watch one of those. So I totally get it. But again, that's kind of why I'm going to do some Monster Hunter content as well. The thing is, I think the way I'm looking at it is, when I started streaming originally, by which I mean 2017, and when I first tried streaming, I had no YouTube content really to rely on, and I could stream anything and wouldn't get viewers. But now, because I've got the YouTube content with a lot of PSO stuff and a lot of PSU stuff on there, now obviously I've got some viewers from people who watch those, who then watch the streams, so it's only natural. And I think the same would happen if I just started doing Monster Hunter videos, so if I do those, I might get some viewers who want to come from Monster Hunter. Makes sense. So I'm not necessarily worried. It's a bit of a... It is a very noticeable change, though, from when I stream on a weekend. It's only natural. I'm from the northeast, what do you expect? You enjoy teasing. I've gathered that. You were not home Wednesday. I do not want this to be people going, "Oh, I'm sorry I couldn't be there because I was, I was busy with with life." It was just an observation that I noticed. Twitch crew roll call. I mean, I think what I would probably do is if I was streaming on a weekend and YouTube wasn't really getting viewers, I would probably just stop streaming on YouTube and just focus on Twitch. I'd still do videos for YouTube though. But I do feel like we've got a reasonable balance at the minute. Like you stuck in Minecraft content. It's difficult, I mean, especially when you're doing a big game. You know, if it's a popular game, people are naturally going to gravitate towards the bigger streamers because they're established, and there's a reason they're established. It's reinforcing the fact that even if you stream the most popular game on a Wednesday, I would not be surprised if it was lower on viewers. It's just because of the day, isn't it? You know, if you're streaming during the midweek, you're going to get low viewers typically. YouTube crew roll call, we can't be defeated by Twitch crew. Right at the minute, Twitch crew are winning. When are we going to see Sky play Fortnite? Probably never. I seriously have zero interest in playing Fortnite. I have been looking at the suggestions that people have made on that. If you do want to make a game suggestion, if you join the Discord, there is a stream suggestions channel. Just post it in there, and I'm always happy to look at the suggestions that people do. I will say I can't guarantee I will play them because some of the suggestions I have already played and I might not like them. But I am generally open to getting suggestions, and if it's something I feel that I would enjoy streaming, then I'll consider it. Stan play Monster Hunter Frontier. Yes, I totally forgot about that, honestly. Now there's niche. Yeah, it seems like a great idea, doesn't it? If you can't get viewers in Monster Hunter World, trying to get viewers for Monster Hunter Frontier. Although it might actually work out because some people might want to watch something niche. And I do want to try that at some point. Just because it's Monster Hunter. You vote on Elden Ring Fists Only. Yeah, I did also mention this on the Discord as well, but the other thing about playing suggestions as well is that I may not be able to every week for the simple fact that, I need to buy these games as well. So on that subject, if you are enjoying the stream and you want to show support, there is options to join as a member on YouTube or as a sub on Twitch. On Twitch, I think it is also September apparently, so I think it's 30% off Twitch subs? I have no idea. That is my one shill for the stream. Thank you for the bits. Is that just to stop me begging? Cheers for that, dude. Because I'm trying to remember what this is. Does this lead back to, is it Hakura Temple? I have no idea. Someone family share their games to Sky. Tried doing that before actually, with a friend who lives out the country, and weren't allowed to because it didn't let you family share to someone outside of your country. Join me on old school RuneScape. I'll give each new friend 100k starting gold. Yeah, No Man's Sky I'm thinking about. I'm not sure if it's my kind of game, but I will think about it. I said we're going to do Diablo 2 Resurrected this week, and I'll try and think what to do for the following week. Remember when I played PSU, being frustrated trying to grind techs, only when you managed to max with Raggrants because an event mission had a bunch of pannons in a small box. It's supposed to be a death trap, but Raggrants still unlocked everything and trivialized it. Yeah, leveling text in PSU sucked. That was one of the worst things in the game, honestly. And leveling Fortnite as well. Fan games are cool options. Yeah, I'm interested in anything. I mean, I've said to Kilniath as well, like, you know, if you ever finish that game you've been working on it, I'm more than happy to try that out as well. Talking about Diablo reminds you of the best game to play in the genre, Torchlight 2. Never tried the Torchlight games. I know they were made by some of the team from Diablo 2. If I ever finish that game I've been working on, yes. You don't sound confident. I'm just going to see what's in here because I have no idea. So we have 3 quests here, so we have Eastern Peril, which is on Magog. We can do it 160. Forest Infiltration is Adana at 160. And Sinner's Banquet, we can only do 130. And that is Otori Castle. Adanagana, what a now? Yeah, Adanagana. Some of the boss names in PSU are just, ugh. You're back to not being confident, you just don't know how to get over the art hurdle. Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because if you're not confident enough to do the art assets for it, I suppose the only other way around it is to get someone to do it. Yeah, I get what you mean, though. It is difficult. It'd be the same for me. Like, I could probably make a half attempt at doing art, but I would have no idea where to start on the programming side, so... Let's do Eastern Peril. First peers in PSU are gold as well. Bugger Zubba. You also had ones like Ik Hick, which was the Drunken Fist peer. You still like Shiga Wada. Yeah, some of the weapon names as well. Do I have any stupid weapon names with me? I mean, we have Clad Shag. And Dust Daggers, which isn't dual daggers. Remember, there is also a dagger called Dagger Dagger. Hoping someday I can make a game highly referenced with PSU Worlds in the Universe and PS0 Visual Aesthetic. Wish me luck. Good luck. Weapon names are also based on the planet, right? So it's probably a Mortar weapon. Yeah. Yeah, so the weapons are... They do kind of follow a naming pattern based on what planet makes them. To be fair, some names on PSO at least are pretty much just Japanese with slight changes, like Buta. Is Rocket Punch in the game? I'm not sure, honestly. It wouldn't surprise me if it is. Clementine has added a lot of weapons to the game, so it wouldn't surprise me if it is in. Isn't butter what you put on bread? If you recall PSU being the game you played in your youth, I had both a saber and a saber, happily mixing British and Americans spellings. Yeah, I think, I could be wrong, but I think, isn't PS0 like that as well? Where there's saber ER and saber RE. Buta is pig in Japanese, yeah. Actually, well done for noticing that, actually, because, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because they do have a pig nose. How have I never thought of that? And I knew that as well. I did know that Buta is Japanese for pig. I just never put the two and two together. Speaking of silly names, I decided since it's your birthday, I'll rebuy Shin Megami Tensei 5 on PC since it's on offer. Oh, happy birthday, dude! Didn't realise it was your birthday. You didn't either. That's a sign, you see. That's when you know you're starting to get old, when you can't remember your birthday or how old you are. When you have to sort of work it out when you were born and what year it is now. You thought you were 33 and realised you're 32. I mean, that's good. For me, I will still be happy while there is still a 3 at the beginning of my age. I've got a bit of time yet. Not long, but... You're 32, feeling 52. To be honest, I kind of feel like that as well. This is the early midlife crisis stage. I kind of feel like I must be going through one because I bought a convertible, and that's apparently what you do when you're having a midlife crisis, isn't it? Never going to own a convertible, you're going attached to SUVs. Unless they make a convertible SUV. There was... I mean, there is the Range Rover Evoque convertible, which looks ridiculous. I think Nissan did one as well a while back. Probably PS0 or PSU websites only list one spelled saber with RE and with a note it did not drop in game. Okay. Yeah, I think when I played PS0, I'm sure I remember seeing saber spelled ER and RE. Range Rovers are fake Land Rovers. I personally don't get the appeal of them at all. But Is NGS Mars basically SUV? It's kind of similar. So I think the main difference between them is with SUV weapons in PSU, you basically summon them, do one big attack, and then that's it. Like this, as is being perfectly demonstrated. Whereas with Mars, you basically summon it and then you can unsummon it whenever you want to, and you just fight with it normally while you've got it, or it gives you different abilities. So, but it worked kind of similar, I guess. My ideal car would be like an 80s Ford Escort. I love square cars. Honestly, I love cars with pop-up headlights. I wish I could have one. You got a Land Cruiser. Oh, Land Cruisers are cool. He has ridiculous range. I'm just going to stand at you, dude, and just keep shooting you. How will you hit me from there? Can we just agree that the Onmagoog theme is so good? He didn't really get to do anything, but it was good while it lasted. Oh my god, is that an Onmagoog? It is. Sorry, Force. Is that what you say when you spam Berserk? You missed the parry. I also missed the parry. Yeah, I'm sorry, Force. Oh, so we're back here again. So that just loops around. Okay. I think we probably want to pick a different lobby now because our only option now is Demons Above, which is on Magoo again. Did PSU have a parry? Kind of forgot. PSU doesn't, but PSP2 does. Question, why are you wearing assless chaps? It's the casino outfit from PSU. But yeah, they are assless chaps. You're not wrong. Mercifully, you can only wear these on female characters. Boot arm. So more tape, okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Hurry, go find a bush. I mean, if we're going to Motube, I can probably find somewhere. I don't think there's a bush in here anywhere that you can use. So yeah, we can go to Dagora. Since you apparently have an issue with the assless chaps, we will replace them. Let's see what they've got in here. A racing stream could be nice. If there is assless chaps in Monster Hunter Wilds as a male, I'll wear it. Doesn't matter if you're male or not, that they've already confirmed that you will be able to wear whatever outfits you want. So females will be able to wear male armor, males will be able to wear female. So if there's assless chaps, you'll be able to wear them. Become a magical girl, Skyly. I'll see what I can do. Use the witch outfit from Miyabi. What do we even have here? So that is, I think that's the beast outfit from PSP too. Sounds annoying in concept, but I like how each clothes shop has different stock. Yeah, it's kind of cool actually, isn't it? Because I guess the idea is that this is the fashion on this planet. I mean, you have to respect the Red Ring Rico. Red Ring Ricardo. I think that's the Jumin outfit from Infinity as well. There's some wild outfits in PSU, man. Dress looks cool. Yeah, the outfit does look a bit like Shantae, doesn't it? The witch outfit is on Param. That is quite a cool outfit, the dress one. I'll go and have a look at this outfit. Cease Param. I like how Cease Forest is now just changed to Cease Param. Do not support their economy. I will go and have a look. I will come back to Dagger in a second though, so we'll do more too. I like how Param even has a human clothes shop. Param is the caste plant, right? So most of the castes are based on Param, yeah. Cease Raffan Meadow. Right, so what was this outfit called? You just said the witch outfit. Let's have a look. Metnomore Witch, I'm guessing. Is it this one you mean? Yeah, that is that is not a nice outfit. And I'm guessing by the bikini armor one, you mean Lunar Prophecy, because I remember this from PSO2. So not affecting shot on stream because it's a bit spicy. I mean, that is pure art. I can just become a mech. I mean, you know, when on Param, just turn into a mech. Yeah, I've got to say, I'm not a huge fan of some of the outfits. I need a brain jar on top. I miss Harry Potter. We all miss Harry Potter. Yeah, I'll go back to MoreTube. You need pants. What is Harry Potter? So there is another content creator called The Playable Lover who used to play Phantasy Star stuff sometimes. I think he still does it on his alternate channel, which is The Playable Other. But he made a cast on PSU called Harry Potter. Which was a tiny forecast. It was pretty special. He was like my child. We went to the beach and everything. Yeah, so I'll go with the German dress for now then. Do another Skylight coloured one. I guess the white is probably the nearest. Yeah, I'll go with that. Get a bit of class on the stream. There's a banana head coloured one. Go on then. There is actually another variant as well, actually, which I think has different colours. Yeah, they're slightly different. Nice way to justify everyone going around in eclectic outfits rather than whatever's the heaviest armour. Yeah, I've always kind of liked that about Phantasy Star, where you can essentially appear how you want to, and your armor is generally not visible, because it lets you still look as you want to, which I quite like. So is it this one you mean for the banana head one? Let's do it. This is for you, Vector. Yeah, that's the other thing with PSU as well. So the line shields kind of appear on your armor, so you can see, for example, on this beast here, the purple part on the armor is the actual line shield. So they added extra detail to the armor by showing the element of the line shield, which I think is quite cool. It's a shame the dress looks weird in PSU due to physics not existing. Oh, thanks for the gift sub. Did you just send a gift sub to Vector just because we've gone with the Vector outfit? I respect it. I mean, kinda. He's fam, we got this. So these are both pretty terrible quests. PSO needed to solve the clipping on character mags and armor. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that's still a problem in NGS. There is still some things that clip. I know with NGS, if you... Yeah, we could shuttle, actually. That is a good point. That's probably the better player. Even with NGS, particularly if your character is like certain proportions, some of the outfits just clip. Some of the hairstyles as well, so particularly with long hair in NGS, if you do certain poses, your hair will clip inside your body. So where can we go to? So the only ones I can do is Galenigar Basin or West Kugu, Agis Kugu. If anyone else has any others you want to go to, let me know. North Continent, okay. Oh, thanks for gifting the sub, Vector. Okay, so we now go to North Continent via Tonga. Challenge, find a nice locale on MoTube. Done. When you stay still, it works well, but when you move, the bits on the left, they annoyingly clip. Yeah, it does clip quite badly on the left leg, but... And thank you again for the bits. You see, I like this. I think this is quite a cool lobby. Definitely one of my favourite places on MoTube anyway. Also, you can sit on these. Oh god, is there a hype train started? This is where the snow dragon and PSO live. We finally solved it. This is where the Sill Dragon came from in PSO. Because God knows it makes no sense in PSO. Hidden lore unlocked, exactly. It's like a bonfire. It's Dark Souls all of a sudden. Look carefully and you might see my ray cast from there. You just see a brick in the distance. You gotta play PSO2 F1 to understand the Nibirius Tundra lot. Yeah, I can understand why there's a Tundra in Nibirius in PSO2. Nivirius, depending on which one you call it. So what can we do from here? Planet is like 50-50 tundra and forest, isn't it? It's a mix of, there's tundra, forest, and there's also a ruin section as well. You know what, I'm going on to Twitch while still opening YouTube for audio. I mean, what we could do is we could do the quest that takes us to the casino and then do casino like as Gamba. I don't know if I have any coins, but Gamba sounds good. I have no idea if it's this way. We'll find out. No, I don't think it is this one. Or they're all there, is it? Maybe? I have no idea. I can get coins at the casino. Yeah, you can get a coin every day, can't you? Does anyone know if this is the mission that takes you to the casino? I know it's one that with as they're all there. Is this the one it's called though? Go to the right one, not left. Okay. So this one. I think it's Caves of Ice, isn't it? I think. Is it? Snowcap takes you to casino. Okay. Man, I could just shuttle there, but I'm just thinking we may as well do a quest to get there. Caves of Ice takes you to mine. Just shows how much I know. Oh, okay, so this one takes you straight to casino, whereas Caves of Ice takes you somewhere else, and then you do another quest to get to casino. Fair enough. Yeah, we can do this then. Another PSP2 map. These maps remind me of some anime like Hunter or Toriko. Yeah, I mean, this map wasn't even in PSU. This is ported straight over from Phantasy Star Portal 2. Oh, just hit 143. Gotta run family stuff. No worries, dude. Thanks for dropping by as well. I have no idea how they ported it, honestly. But this is a PSP2 map. This music's from PSP2 as well. Motube is desert and tundra. Yeah, Motube is kind of a weird mix of... It's mostly sort of desert or canyon, but there is this like icy part of it as well. Have a great rest of the stream. Oh, cheers, dude. And yeah, just again, there is a Discord link there as well, so if anyone wants to join the Discord, we do play off stream as well, so feel free to join us over there. It's more bad than Nibirius on PSR 2. It is quite a varied planet, yeah. I like how there's just some random boxes here with 3 S-rank weapons in. I keep getting random Twitch notifications that people have gifted you subs when you're not there. Yeah, I've had that as well. So what will tend to happen is I will watch a channel. I won't get a gift sub while I'm there. I'll leave the channel and go and watch something else. And then I'll get a gift sub notification. So I don't really know what's going on there. Pasted both maps on Discord on off topic. The way they design them seem to have some sort of pattern. Okay, cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm really happy they managed to bring the PSP2 maps over. It adds a lot more to PSU, I think. Maybe the only viewers are all subs, so it goes to the next person who briefly watched. I'm not sure, honestly. Honestly, I've had a lot of fun playing PSU again, though. I know it's only been a few weeks, really, but it's nice to come back to it. I always feel as well that whenever I stream PSU, like the streams always seem fairly popular. I think quite a lot of people actually have fun memories of this game. as I said before, I think PSU is one of those games that I think people look back on it with a better impressions now than they did back when it released. Seems so. Heard many saying that they misjudged PSU. I think honestly a lot of it back in the day was just that because PSU was essentially replacing PSO, even though PSO didn't go down for a while after PSU released, a lot of people just didn't like the fact that it was essentially replacing PSO, so just judged it negatively because it wasn't PSO. Now, I'm not saying that PSU is faultless because it does have a lot of problems, but I think it did get a lot of unfair criticism as well. It's kind of odd because I kind of feel like the same is true to an extent with NGS now. Although, again, I will stress that NGS also does have a lot of problems. It's just kind of funny how it's come round again. I kind of feel like Dural Layers is slightly better fighting PSU at least. Not that that's much of a achievement because the PSO fight is pretty awful. I don't think the sentiment on NGS is the same or even similar, as NGS is somehow still carrying the PSO2 name and ties it as canon sequel, unlike PSO and PSU. Yeah, I mean, NGS is a canon sequel. They've said it takes place, what is it, about 500 or 1,000 years after PSO2, and there is very strong hints with the Nameless City that it is tied directly to it. What I mean, though, is I mean that PSU and NGS were both received quite negatively. And I think that while some of the criticism is deserved, I think some of it also isn't. I forgot how annoying this guy is actually. Although it is better than the PSO fight, you just spend an inordinate amount of time just away from the raft. I also like how everything is in English in that quest, apart from the little message at the end when you defeat Dural. Acro Fighter 18. Oh, we've now got sorry PP generate. You got Rabble Roll 15-star armor. Oh, nice one. But the most important thing now is Gamba. Fair that translating Japanese text to English is a lot more complex than just translating, as it takes up different memory sizes. Okay. To be fair, to be honest, if they marketed NGS as Phantasy Star New Genesis or just call it PSO3, don't think the sentiment will like now where everyone hates it. I think because it's called PSO2 NGS, it has a few issues, so a lot of people obviously just inherently compare it to PSO2, which had 8 years worth of content when NGS came out. And the other issue is that for new players who are coming into the franchise, they might think that you need to play PSO 2 before you play NGS, which isn't true. So it kind of gives awkward signals. So we did actually get one of the episode 6 bosses on NGS recently. I actually haven't fought it yet because I haven't done the limited quest yet for it. But we got, I can't remember the name of the boss now, but it's the one that looks a bit like a mech. I think on PSO 2, I think he fought it in space with the AIS. So just to prove Kilniath, that's the outfit. That's where it comes from. They butchered his theme. Yeah, I honestly, I couldn't even remember the original theme for it because it's been so long since I played it. Three years of NGS, it's still nowhere progressing story-wise. So the story for NGS, I would agree it wasn't progressing anywhere until the last chapter. The last chapter actually pushed it forward quite a bit. The issue now, though, is that there is no new story until next year, which is way too long to wait for another story episode. Okay, so we do have some coins. That means we can gamba. You heard no story till April 25. So far the roadmap goes up to March and it's not on the roadmap. Now, whether they add it to the roadmap, I don't know. They have said that roadmap is subject to change and could get things added to it. It would suck if it was April for the next story. I really don't think it needs to be that long. I think the sad thing as well is that the story was starting to get actually interesting. And now we're getting to a point where they finally got to an interesting part of the story and now we have to wait for months for the next part. By which time people are going to have forgotten what's happened. So what should we do? Should we do roulette or slot machines? Roulette all on 0. It'll be a very short casino visit if I put it all on 0. Unless I win. It'll pay off eventually. Yeah, the worst thing about the PSU casino, though, is the fact that all of the numbers are in PSU font. Now, it's not so bad when you start, and once you know how it works, it's not too bad. You know, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5 is a bar. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is a cross. Then when you start getting to like over here, and you've got this abomination. And I think this section is for like 1 to 12, I think that is. 19, you read those easy. You get used to it. You did a learning session on deployable stream. Oh yeah, I remember when he was reading all the signs, yeah, and translating everything. You should be an expert then. So let's see, so all the last spins have been red. Have you really just put a silver on each black, or is that a different person? Let's put 1 silver on black. It was me on both. Red and black. Go black. So Vector has said go black, so I have gone black. Yeah, it is pure payout for this. Oh, we got it. That's a blue. Okay, so... Oh, he's gone for the 0 bet. Let's see, so we've had quite a lot of highs. I'm going to go for a middle bet. Yeah, so that is 13 to 24, I think that is. Oh, it actually says at the top right of the screen. I'm so stupid. How can you tell someone isn't a gambler? Yeah, I have never set foot in a casino in my life. That's one thing about the casino, though. I know a lot of people want a casino at an NGS, which I've never really understood because the casino in PSO2 is not great. The casino here isn't great. Oh, we got screwed, I think. Casino in PSO2 is amazing. The issue I have with the casino in PSU and in PSO2 is that it doesn't use Meseta. I would like it if you could actually make money from it in the game, rather than like a separate currency that you can only use for a few things. The games themselves are fine. The Arkham slot is pretty fun, yeah. No poker though. Yeah. One thing I do like in PSO2 is the fact I've got the blackjack. Oh, sorry, blackjack. I'm going for a 0 bet. I'm doing it. Look at this big money here. Yeah, it is blackjack. Yeah, I quite like blackjack because it's a really easy game. You could tell Sig got bought by a gambling company by the way that every game had a casino. Oh. No 0. So we seem to be on a bit of a streak of black at the moment. I'm going to go red for a start. And we'll also go... We haven't had a low one for a while, so we'll go with the low one. Actually, no, I'm going to put 1 and 0 as well. I'm having to pace myself because I don't have much money. This looks like a lot, but this is all bronze. It would help if the camera would zoom out a bit more so I can see better. There we go. The slots are brutal. They are. Well, that went well. So the thing is, there is a massive streak on black at the moment. And I know the minute I bet on black, it'll go to red. So the game will think that. and expect me to vote on red. So we go black. And I'm determined it's going to land on 0 at some point. Yeah, Victor said go black, so... I'm missing a trick. You're wearing the banana headdress and not betting all on yellow. I can try putting a bet on the yellow. So of course it lands on red. Rigged. Absolutely rigged. It landed on yellow too. So what we do is we bet on yellow and then bet on black as well. So we bet on what? 13 to 24. Go all in, I believe. You watch it land on 0 now. It now won't land on 0. You like how it's become a gambling stream now? We just kind of ended up here, and I thought it's near the end of the stream anyway, so we'll do a bit of a casino. Well, it landed on yellow, so we got some money. Does PSU have Go Ball though? That's the real question. I don't think it does. It does have some. There is some racing quests, I think. So there is ones where you can race on like hoverboards, which I'm trying to remember where they are. I know there's one on MoreTube, I think. Guardians HQ on each planet. I think we went to MoreTube, Guardians HQ. Okay. I'm sorry, Jack. It's hurting my brain so much reading this backwards. I would go all in Vector, but I actually do need to save some coins. Life is suffering. All right, we'll do one more bet then, and then we'll do a race. I go for a bigger bet. You're broke. That is the normal casino experience. Yeah, I'm glad people seem to be liking the PSU stream anyway. So I will definitely play some more of it as well, especially once that new player experience starts. Chances on coin to increase odds. I mean, I'll take anything at this point. Oh, so close. Well, it was so close. Spare change Sky for Pickerwood, who will pay you back when he doubles his money. Let's do a board race. Let's do one. So it was Motube Guardians HQ. So Dagger City. Made some coins off of that. Yeah, so it's just in here, I think. The racing is very, very janky and doesn't really work that well, but it's here. I actually have a rare mission. Just realised that. I don't remember getting that, but apparently I have a rare mission. It's going to be the horrible minigame, isn't it? There was the water vehicle on a tank thingy, so there is those. There is also airboards. Which are very, very awkward to control. And I'll remember how to do it one day. It is circle to go forwards. So this is a very, very cursed racing in PSU. It is fairly awful. And next to impossible to control. You didn't even know this was a thing. Yeah, it is. Prototype of PSO2 NGS board races. The really funny thing is, I genuinely think this controls better than the PSO2 boards. I'm even going. I have no idea. Yeah, the controls for the NGS boards I really don't like. Honestly, the most annoying thing with them is getting off them. Oh no, I think Pickerwood has figured out how to ride the board properly. As you might have noticed, I'm fairly terrible at this. I am losing. Thanks for that, Vector. The thing is, if you touch the edges even slightly, you just stop. there's no real braking. It's basically full speed or nothing. And of course we get some Sonic Heroes music on the final lap, because of course we do. Why do I type reverse sometimes? Drac is having the same problem. We're not sure what causes it. It feels so slow when you're not getting the speed ups. Where did I even finish? Also, I like how one of the airballs is just moving with no one on. So it's slightly buggy. Yeah, that was very weird. Oh, there we go. Actually won for once. Drac in second. And Pika in third. You were in the lead. Yeah, as I've said, this is incredibly buggy. It is a fun little distraction though, to be fair. So since we've probably got time for maybe one more run, and I have a rare mission, so do you want to run the rare mission? You thought Sky was losing the whole game? I was for most of the game. Yes, on 5th floor. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if you want to do that. So we can go to Guardian's Colony 5th floor. That's not nice. He's been winning some of the stream, not losing the whole game. Really? You can't go to the Guardian's Colony from here? Why is chat backwards? We have no idea. It seems to be a weird bug that came into Clementine for certain people. So Draken, and I think there was someone else in chat as well, I think it was Shiro, said that everything they type comes up backwards. So the entire stream I've been having to figure out what Drak's saying from backwards messages. That's a really bad fact that we did not mention SGS in this stream. Yeah, they need to type backwards to be readable. It's so weird. Mine's fine. But yeah, it is very, very weird. I said at the start though, it used to happen on the Sega servers as well, and I don't know what caused it. think it's under normal missions. I think. Yeah, so we've got Phantom Ruins. So yeah, Clem Camp is still on at the minute. So if you just start with PSU, so Vector, for example, once you can run this, so you need to be level 10 to run Clem Camp, run it, because it has like 1000% experience. Yeah, I'm getting rid of it soon though. Just only say palindromes. That's insane. That actually, why is that saying we can do that? That makes no sense. It's saying we can do S4. All party members must be 160 plus. Lucia is 117. Must be a visual bug because we shouldn't be able to run that. So we would do be S2. How soon they're getting rid of it? So they are launching what's called a new player experience update, which it's going to be at least 6 weeks because they're doing an event for 6 weeks first. But they've said that part of the update will be getting rid of Clem Camp. You'll probably get lost before you can even get to level 10. Yeah, we can do S2 then. I don't know how many people have seen this, but yeah, this is how you access the PSO maps. I think they're getting rid of it just because they're trying to streamline the new player experience and make it easier. Let's get Red Ring. Yeah, let's get Red Ring. It doesn't feel quite the same, but it's a reasonable enough approximation of ruins, I guess. John Cena is hiding. Yeah, Darkfalt is hiding. Were ruins the only area they remade from PSO? No, so the way it works is these are what I call rare missions. So when you complete a mission, there is a small chance you'll get access to a rare mission. And the rare mission that you get depends on what planet you access it from. So if you access it from the Guardians colony, you get ruins. If you access it from Mortube, I think you get forest. And then one of the planets you get caves, and one of them you get mines. So they are all in. Darkfalt is hiding. Why not go maximum attack G or mag? Because the rare missions have a much higher experience rate. So these only show up now and again. Oh, Gauser and Rod, cool. These only show up now and again, and you run them basically for the increased experience. Yeah, unfortunately we can't go the 4-player route. Cease Mortube then, yeah, exactly. Param was caves, okay. You would think that Mortube would be caves, wouldn't you? But it's a good EXP route too. Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, generally, if you want to just play, you would run maximum attack G. But yeah, basically these rare missions you just do whenever they show up. Yeah, so New Days must be mines then, I'm guessing. Why would you want to not get a red ring in yet another game? Hey, we both managed to get one eventually. The only thing I will say about this ruins approximation is that this might be the waterfall room, and that to me looks nowhere near as big as the actual waterfall in PSO. It's like an afterthought. There's also another hole there for some reason, and another waterfall. Looking like you like the PSO Mines and PSO Ruins BGM. Both either sounded groovy in Mines or bittersweet in Ruins. Yeah, the music, particularly the Ruins music, I really like. I mean, I've always loved the PSO soundtrack. I mean, I've got a copy of it over in that cabinet over there. Red Ring Rico already dead, so no Red Ring in PSU. I think it was an interesting way of bringing PSO into this, and it's kind of the same in PSP2 as well, because for those of you who've seen the PSP2 playthrough so far, in one of the recent episodes we did a VR simulator, and the VR simulator is forests and caves. So even in that, they're like, I think it says in PSU that they're not sure where the data from it came from. Can Red Ring Recall be called Triple R? Welcome to the Ruins experience. There's a fantastic cover of Revolution to the Origin up on YouTube. Oh, cool. Are you on the Discord, Richard? If you are, feel free to drop it in one of the channels on there. In other words, they lost the memories due to trauma. Possibly. It doesn't really go into exactly why, you know, why no one knows what the areas are. I think really it was just a way to sort of ham-fist PSO stuff into PSP2, but I appreciate it. Triple R and Darkfall's perfect wrestling is. Yeah, the entrance theme starts and it just goes, time to play PSO. There is nothing really of any use here. AWP power charge, that sounds interesting. I have no idea what it really does, but... You also get a ton of mission points from these. I think there's probably a boost on at the minute, but yeah. Yeah, that is Ruins. It's cool. I kind of like how they interpret it in PSU. Boost right now is GC. Oh, okay. But yeah, I'll have to look up for the covers. I love the soundtrack in honestly in most Phantasy Star games. Even NGS, honestly, a lot of the music in NGS is really good as well. I'm not as big a fan of the sort of what I would describe as like the idol culture songs. So a lot of the songs by Kuna and Matoi and Najera in NGS, they don't really appeal to me that much. I tend to like a lot more of the sort of I guess like the ambient music in the games, I guess. Now we're needing Navirius on NGS as a VR thing. It wouldn't surprise me if they do it at some point. I mean, they have been putting things from the older games in. We do have some PSO2 bosses in NGS already as Ruin bosses. We also recently had Gal Griffin from PSO as well, so it'll be cool to see some PSU stuff in there, maybe. Yeah, the challenge mode BGM is really, really good. I really like that. NGS is the only one where I don't remember any of the OST. There is a few really good songs in NGS. I mean, I really like the Nameless City music. That is really, really good, I think. Some of the boss battle music is pretty decent as well. There is a lot of synth in it. So if you don't like synth, you probably won't like the NGS soundtrack, but I quite like synth. It's not a Nameless City if it's called the Nameless City, though. You've seen content creators use the Retem City Night as background music for videos. Yeah, so some of the city music is really, really good, quite chill. I think the Retem music in particular is quite good. Yeah, Lucille has pretty good music as well. Honestly, I think the music has been a strong point of Phantasy Star for as long as I can remember. It's always been pretty solid. Yoshi likes synth too, as an avid Camellia fan, but NGS synth sounded meh. Yeah, it's not going to be for everyone. But yeah, I think I will probably end things there for today, I think. So, just a quick update again. So, tomorrow there will be a PSP2 video for members, which will be to everyone else on the Wednesday. There'll be a stream on Wednesday, which is going to be Diablo 2 Resurrected, assuming it all works okay. And then on Sunday, there will be another PSO lore video, and we'll probably play some PSO Episode 3 next week on stream. Thanks for runs. Anyways, yeah, thanks for joining as well. So we will return to PSU though, as well, especially once that new player experience is out, we'll come back to it. I will probably do some NGS stuff at some point as well, but yeah, we'll see. So yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, as usual, just consider the usual: liking, subscribing, join a member, sub, whichever you want to. We do also have a Discord that I mentioned before, which might be in the video description on YouTube. I honestly can't remember. But feel free to join us over there if you haven't joined already. And you can also follow me on Twitter as well. But yeah, thanks for joining, and I will hopefully see you guys on Wednesday for some Diablo 2 Resurrected. Yeah, hope you have a good week, and I'll see you on Wednesday. See you guys. Phantasy Skyly. See you, dude.